celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Al Abrams and Judy Francis.
And don't forget about your dream team, Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions, groomer Joey Villani with their grooming questions, our pet travel expert Susan Sims, animal communicator Joy Turner, and Vladi, the world famous Russian dog wizard, all here. Grab your animals, bring them around the radio. We have all of our animals. We have Boog, he's the one that's snoring in the background. And Ladybug, the studio stunt dog.
I think they just come in here to nap at this time of day.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It is
What
them.
Yes? What do they do at night?
They're up all night long.
Yeah,
and then
they're
they sleep all
nocturnal.
day. Bus up all night long. How you doing, Joey?
No, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You ready for the big show?
You know. Yeah, you know what? I'm always game ready. You know, I got my game face on. I'm ready to go.
What are you going to be talking about today? What are we going to learn?
It's funny because I'm putting
wisdom.
That's right. But I'm putting together a few things that I've talked about in the past. I'm putting together as one. So what you could do is find out how you can clean your dog by cleaning the coat, the ears, the teeth, and everything by just using household stuff very safely. That's probably in your cupboard somewhere or under your sink.
Well, then wait a second. Our own Joey Villani is going to be talking about some of the brand name favorite products you might find around the house today that will help you clean up your pet. Is that correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's a quinky-dink.
Yeah, why was I a little confusing there?
Well, because we also happen to be having
a different language.
We happen to be having Joey Green on today.
Yes,
same
Joey.
name. Who does the very, very same thing. He has a brand new book out, Amazing Pet Cures, and it all includes 1,130 new pet care secrets of things that you can use around your house, like Pampers or cream cheese or Dawn or Maxwell House. Things that you can use for pet cures.
Wow.
Craziest thing.
Now, I better not find any of my my remedies in that book now.
We're going to be...
I have to have a talk off the air, you know? Me and Joey there.
We're going to be giving away some of the books, too. I'll give you one right now, and you can skim through it and make sure none of your...
There you go.
So it's a real helpful show. We'll have some household helpful hints today. And
That's always a good thing to know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now, the animals always know what we're thinking, right?
They do. The only thing is that sometimes, especially if somebody's head is like thinking a million miles a minute, like a lot of us tend to do, they'll do the same thing that humans do if people just talk at them all the time. They kind of tune you out.
Just ignore us.
Yeah, so I always suggest it's really better if you want their actual attention to say their names first and then start talking to them. And that way they know that you're actually talking to them instead of doing our kind of what we might see as incessant chatter thing.
Well, now, what if we had a thought we didn't want them to hear?
Well, that would be tough if they're paying attention.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Sure, I got a quick question for you because I always wondered this. We have about 10 different names for each of our dogs. You know, I got Miles, we call him Pilot, and I'm not going to tell you why we have all these. But does that bother them at all? Because they answer to all of them. They'll look at me no matter any of those 10 names that we call them, and they'll answer to it. Does it bother them at all?
Yeah, and they get to know that those particular names are things you mean for them. And the only time I've ever seen that bother somebody is if maybe they don't understand where a particular name comes from, and it may sound derogatory to them, so then it may kind of be a little questionable to them. But generally, no, they know that you do that because you love them, or they're doing something cute and you name them after something cute that you see them do, or whatever the case is.
So it's all good, Joey.
It is all good, Joey.
That's what I wanted to know.
1-866-405-8405 if you want to connect with anyone of the Dream Team right now. We're all here, toll free.
Hey, Joey, and have you ever asked them what their names for you are?
Yeah, you know what? I haven't asked them that. Maybe one day I'll give you a call to find out what they're calling me behind my back.
You're brave.
We're going to the phones next. 1-866-405-8405.
Hey, this is Brian DeTillo. I play Lucas Roberts on Days of Our Lives, and you're listening to Animal Radio. And please don't forget to have your pet spayed or neutered. That's my favorite saying from Bob Barker, by the way.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more about today's guest at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio.
Welcome, my friend. I'm Hal Abrams. Judy Francis is screening your calls right now at 1-866-405-8405. Who do you want to talk to? Dr. Debbie, of course, answering your vet medical questions. Groomer Joey Villani from Animal Planet's Dogs 101. Animal communicator Joy Turner. Also pet travel expert Susan Sims. And Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, all here at your beck and call. And Stacy working hard in the newsroom. What's going on?
There is a horrible thing that's affecting the horse community, equine herpes. It's become an epidemic. It's including 8 Western U.S. states right now. I'll tell you all about it coming up on Animal Radio News.
Big show, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Spendthrift Joey Green will be joining us, and we'll have giveaways of his new book, Amazing Pet Cures. What was that? Amazing Pet Cures. Can you speak up? Pet Cures. And our good friend, America's favorite vet, Dr. Marty Becker, checking in from Lady Gaga's tour bus once again. Almost done with his tour. I think one more week to go. But first, it's all about you and your pets. Let's go to the phones. We have Bill on the phone. Hey, Bill, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Good. Where are you today?
Well, right now I am in Texas.
Texas? You must be a trucker?
Yes, I am. Hold on a second.
Oh, man. He's got trucker attitude there.
I like that. It's my kind of trucker. So do you travel with your pet?
Actually, no, I'm not. My wife works at an animal hospital in the Tampa Bay area.
Oh.
And she got bit by a German Shepherd today.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, she got bit pretty good on the back of her right hand. When I talked to her at noon, which was about 2 hours after it happened, it hadn't swollen up yet. But I talked to her about 3, which was about 3 hours later, and she said it had started swelling up. If she hadn't have taken the ring off of her hand, that she would have had to have it cut off. So,
oh, dear.
Good thing she did that.
What do you...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I know I was going to say, Doc, this must happen a lot to veterinarians.
Yeah, anyone working in the animal field, it's a very common risk we suffer. And you mentioned the ring thing, and I went through this myself where I had a, minuscule little cat bite, and over the course of a day, my finger started swelling up, and crazy nurse Ratchet, I called her, she wanted to cut my ring off, my engagement ring, and there was no way in heck I was going to let that happen. I was in tears over this, but eventually she got the butter to get the ring off my finger, and I got treated. But I digress here. But yeah, so they can...
My wedding ring's a tattoo, so it don't matter about that one.
Now, there might be a good reason.
This is on her right hand, not on the left.
Okay. Yeah, and any bite, dog bites, cat bites have the potential to get very serious, and they can escalate very fast. So, the first and foremost thing is I would definitely encourage, her to get medical attention. And of course, a lot of times I get asked human medical things, so I can't technically tell her what she should do medically, but I can definitely give you my advice that these can get very serious very fast. And as an employer of people in the veterinary industry, I'd say it's also a liability as a, practice owner. I had a guy he got a little bite on a dog, bit his tip of his fingernail, and he didn't tell me, refused to go see the doctor. He almost lost the tip of his finger because he was trying to not disclose this injury to me, and it really put him in jeopardy. So, yeah, I would definitely encourage her to get attention.
Now, people don't disclose this because they're afraid of the consequences sometimes. Do you have to report those, Doc, when you get bit, or one of your patients? Does animal control have to come out and look at the animal? What happens?
Technically, if there's any bite, it should be reported. But the ones that require medical attention are generally the ones where it's most important, because then you get the human medical field together, and they have pretty strict regulations upon that, just to ensure public health, make sure everyone's current on their rabies vaccination, and to kind of look at the context of the bite as well, because this could be anything in the veterinary world. I have dogs that don't like my glove approach and would want to bite me, and that's not an aggressive dog. It's just a fear reaction there.
Well, now, my wife has worked at this particular hospital for 12 years now, and she has dealt with this particular dog since it was a puppy.
Wow.
So it's not like the dog was a stranger to her. And she has become friends with the people through the years that she's worked there, the people that own the dog. And so she doesn't really, she didn't want to get any medical attention because in Florida, they do. Animal control will come out and quarantine the dog. They will look at, they'll inspect everything and look around and actually charge the people so much per month to own a dangerous dog. So,
and on a one-bite incident?
She didn't really want to submit them people to that kind of investigation.
Yeah.
But if it's
I don't know, man.
I told her, go to the doctor, go to the hospital.
Yeah, I think she should go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Do it if it's bad enough.
Definitely.
She put peroxide, iodine, and butterfly closures and direct pressure. She said that it didn't cut into the big vein that's on the back of your hand. She said that's intact, but she did say she saw a lot of meat under there, so.
Oh, yikes, man. Bill, I mean, this is her hand and this is her life, and I would have to say I'm friends with many of my clients, but I'm always going to have to put my safety first, and I would definitely encourage her to, get that taken care of. And if it really is a one-bite incident where your pet gets labeled as an aggressive dog, that's crazy. Out here in Nevada, there's like a 3-bite rule, so it's not an immediate bite report where they become labeled as a vicious dog. And if they're current on rabies here in our state, they don't quarantine them. They may visit the house, make sure they're current on things. So I'd make sure that, if that is the law, that we double check on that and make sure, because I wouldn't let that hold you back from getting her medical attention.
Yeah, she needs that medical attention. That happened here, of course, to us and with Boog the studio cat bit Judy, and they came out, they quarantined Boog the studio cat for, I believe it was 15 days or so, and a process that went by very fast just to make sure that the cat doesn't get sick, and the quarantine really means nothing more than just to see if the animal has rabies or something that could potentially be very, very dangerous. So definitely seek medical attention for that there. It's not as bad as it sounds. 1-866-405-8405. Doctor, are cat bites worse than dog bites?
They can be, definitely. Dogs do a lot more tissue damage and injury that way, but cat bites are real small, and it's almost like they inject bacteria under the skin, and that's really how I describe it to people, because, they can fester up really bad, really fast, and they've got some really ugly bugs in their mouth, so, I would definitely take a cat bite very seriously.
Toll free, 1-866-405-8405 to talk to anyone of the Dream Team right now. Can you imagine fresh breath and clean teeth without brushing? You can fight that periodontal disease without brushing with Tropiclean's Fresh Breath Gel. Their foam, their water additive, and their dental chews. 93% of users, in fact, noticed cleaner teeth in less than 2 weeks. And if you want to find out more, check out www.tropiclean.net.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. People do some pretty goofy things when they drink. 3 Lithuanian students thought climbing into a giraffe's cage at a local zoo seemed like a good idea after a few drinks, but the giraffe did not appreciate the prank. The 1.3-ton giraffe named Salute flew into a rage and attacked the 3 student trespassers. All were bruised and battered. 22-year-old Ruta Grayshoot was hospitalized with a broken collarbone and nose. A spokesperson from the Kiwanis Zoo warned that it was a very silly prank and that the scared giraffe could have stomped her to death. So remember, never drink and drive or jump in a giraffe's cage. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Provide your pet protection from biting pests with an easy once-a-month application. Advantage 2 quickly kills fleas within 12 hours on cats and dogs. Canine Advantage 2, for dogs only, repels and kills ticks, fleas, mosquitoes, repels biting flies, and kills lice. Advantage 2 and Canine Advantage 2 are waterproof and kill all flea life stages. Advantage 2 and Canine Advantage 2 are available at your veterinarian or favorite pet specialty retailer and are registered trademarks of Bayer.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about Canine Caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine Caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for Canine Caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Fido Friendly is the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each issue includes hotel and destination reviews along with health and wellness topics, dog training tips, and the latest fashion trends. Pick up a copy at Borders, Barnes & Noble, Hastings, or go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today. Fido Friendly is the only magazine dedicated to the travel and lifestyle of man's best friend and the one magazine your dog will thank you for.
Celebrating 7 years as the finest resource site for aging dogs, cats, and their owners, SeniorPetProducts.com provides the latest news, information, and products for the life of your pet. At SeniorPetProducts.com, you'll find everything your aging pets need, and our friendly support staff ready to answer your questions. New customers enter promo code SAVE25 on our homepage or at checkout to receive 25% off your entire order. The most trusted authority on all things senior pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
Hi, this is Betty White. All us animal lovers love Animal Radio. Please help every way you can to make life better for our animals.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
For those of you, we just got back from a break here, and you have a chicken, you have a what?
We have a chicken in the office, and we have a goose, and we have a whole cluster of baby birds that have been blown out of nests with the recent winds. So we are just, it's a bird haven here.
What, Pete?
Wow.
All the birds come to Lone Valley?
Lone Mountain Animal Hospital.
You know, vets. Some vets will treat exotics, some don't. And some don't want to mess with the baby birds that are orphaned. So we take them on and try our best to rear them and let them go. And it's really funny because we actually every year we have like the token pigeon we release out the back door, and he survives. We let him go, and then he comes back, and he won't leave, and he tries to come in the back door, and it happens repetitively. They bond to the location. They bond to the people, and we even had one jump on a dog's back and try to take a ride back into the clinic.
You have so much fun there at the clinic. You're a regular Dr. Doolittle, it sounds like, though. But you do have a lot of fun. And if you're traveling across the country, say you're a trucker OTR, and you need to stop at the vet, 15 is right along the route there where you are in Las Vegas. Well, just a little off the 15 there. Great vet.
Close, 95, 15, we're there.
Dr. Debbie White, and you can call her just Dr. Debbie. I think she likes that.
We're casual, yeah.
1-866-405-8405. We'll go back to the phones next with the whole cast. Stacy, what are you working on?
Well, when you say the word herpes, you think a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. Maybe some people that you knew in the past that you don't want to know anymore. But there is a horrible thing that's affecting the horse community, equine herpes. It's become an epidemic.
Wow.
It's including 8 Western U.S. states right now. I'll tell you all about it coming up on Animal Radio News.
Have you seen any cases in your clinic?
Well, we don't really see horses at my office, but, it is something the equine vets are very much on the alert for, and, it's important. If you travel with your horses, you want to be very vigilant, really check their temperatures, and then there's a vaccine. So that's the big thing, is you want to call your horse vet, get the appropriate vaccine for this.
Too big of an animal for you, huh?
Yeah, Great Danes are kind of my max, although every now and then we get some, really large potbelly pigs that kind of push the limit.
I bet they do. Hey, Donna.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, welcome to the show. I have Lottie, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, right here.
Hi, Donna, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Thank you. Do you know me?
Not really. I found the show by accident on one of those that was scanning down my satellite.
Oh, okay. For you and for everyone who is listening to me right now, I'm the former Red Army and KGB, which is Soviet Intelligence Agency, canine trainer. I travel all over the world using my one of the kind, unique dog training methods to turn most unruly canines into the canine angels. And I am pleased to work with Animal Radio to helping the listeners. So how can I help you?
Well, I've had dogs pretty much all my life. I've had a Australian Shepherd that was 16 years old, and then she went to the other side, and I've rescued. It seems like dogs come to me that have been wounded, and I love them, and they get them balanced out. And anyway, so I have this dog. She's about 49 pounds. I very lovingly call her a curbstone sitter because she's a mix of, looks like maybe collie, golden retriever. I don't really know, But anyway, she was given to a man who had 2 pit bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
And after that experience, even though she stayed in that home for a while, she is dog aggressive. Now, I've had her for about 1.5 years. She's calmed down. She's at least will let me touch her tail now. Or let me touch her. So, you know, the bond is there. She's feeling safer. But when I can't take her to the dog park or to doggy daycare because she's got this beautiful flume tail that comes up. And if a dog gets near her back end to sniff, which is normal, she will turn and get aggressive. Now, what's happened is over time, I'm noticing now she's starting to whimper where she wants to play, where I've kept her on a leash and made her watch other people interacting. Now she's wanting to interact, but when she gets close, she starts barking and wants to jump off and get aggressive. And I don't know what to do.
Okay, Dana, you're talking. So let me translate in two sentences everything what you just said. So you have a dog, like Australian mixture with a golden, possibly, or something else. Originally, dog was located at another facility with a gentleman who had and has 2 pit bulls or something, 2 dogs. So you kind of got that dog from that facility or from that home, and now you're dealing with the problem that your dog wants to, if somebody sniffed your dog's butt, she's going to go around and kind of want to snap another dog, or she now even starting to show aggressiveness to the people too on the walk. Am I right?
Oh, no, not people. She loves people. She loves kids. It's only white dogs. Dogs that look like pit bulls or boxers,
and the rest of the dogs, she's fine. Yes, Dan.
She's fine with little dogs.
And what about another dogs, not like pit bull or something else?
She isn't as aggressive, but when they get closer, then she is.
Okay, so here is my best suggestions what happened. And I know you know what happened. So I just say, yes, you're right. Your dog learned that in other dogs can bite me, or play rough with me, or hurt me to some degree. So let me get in the situation, totally dominant first, and bite them before they bite me. From the dog's language, it could be even worse than that. It's sometimes hard for humans to hear. Kill them before they kill me. That's how your dog think. Okay? So it's a based on the bad experience. What you as the human can do in this particular situation. Where do you live, Donna?
I live in Indianapolis.
Indiana, okay.
In the middle of the country.
So, not in California, so I cannot visit you. Okay, so here's what I would.
To Indianapolis.
I can, if you can afford to have a Vladi in your living room, I can fly over, maybe train in your boyfriend or husband at the same time. I normally do that too. So because my producers all look at me like, I have to kind of give you quick solutions, and we're going to move on because when I'm talking, the phone is, off hook. Okay. Yeah, and you always can send me personal email through my website, which is SoCalDogTraining.com. SoCalDogTraining.com. SoCal, everyone in America knows what SoCal. It's Southern California, because in America, California and New York, it's matter. Okay. Sorry, I've been told that way. So here's what I would do as the owner. I would, first of all, definitely increase more confidence in that dog by becoming truly alpha female in the relationship with that dog. So if you're becoming more leader from the dog's perspective, the dog will worry more about you and trust you rather than worry about something else. It's hard to worry about 2 things at the same time. And you can become indisputable leader just as the result of solid obedience training, not something which you can get through the, some type of the new ways of the dog training, like exclusively with treats or clickers or things like this. No, you have to get something really who knows what he is doing. The best resources would be website International Association of Canine Professionals. You can Google it. Now, because this is unlike any other things, needs to be done under supervision of professionals. So that's what I would do first. And if I were your trainer, that's what I would do. And after that, I would definitely would face the issue. How I would do this? I would first put on your dog's head, it calls calming cup. Calming cup. Calm somebody down. Calming cup. It is a piece of material, blue. You can put around the dog's face. The dog can see the things, but will be accepting another dog's sniffing him because dog becoming very vulnerable. That's not authoritative method. So I don't suggesting right now you to get into this electronic colors and everything, which may possibly would help, but boy, not in the general folks' hands. So that's what I would do first. I would definitely protect my dog and another dogs by using gentle leader in these interactions and allow my dog to sniff another dog's butts first. I would get kind of Democrats dog like Lab and Goldens because they want to just love everyone and live in the peace with everyone. And that's what my first interactions would be with them. Allow your dog sniff their dog's butts first, and after they can sniff your dog's butt, sniffing each other dog's butts, it's like Googling for information, and because your dog has that device in her head, she's going to be fine. And, it's hard to be scared from a lot of things if you had a lot of experiences with that and nothing wrong happened. That would be my first step to that. At any time your dog show any aggressiveness, and I would even correct her for changing the body language. I would use air spray device by name Pet Convincer. Google it, Pet Convincer. The dog just wants to be aggressive. She stops, good girl, and allow her to go and sniff in our dog's butt. That's what I would do. Okay, will you do that?
Yeah, that makes good sense.
So will you?
Yes.
Good. Because I don't like when the people...
I like taking my dog everywhere, and where I live is the community in Indianapolis is very European, and there's lots of places to walk, and they're dog friendly, and there's a river, and I'm afraid to take her because I don't know the reaction.
Oh, get Donna, I gotta go.
Or not.
Donna, I gotta go, but you gotta get a few people who you really know. I already said to you, prearrange it. Set it up, like we say in KGB. Find the people who you really can trust with their dogs and do a lot of interactions. You know those dogs are nice. And I love what you just said. You will do it. I don't like when the people tell me, I will try. Nothing to try it. Do it. You will love the result. You will do it or you're not. It's like you say in America, or you're pregnant or you're not. Thank you for calling us.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team right now at Animal Radio. If your cat or dog has that winning smile, you must enter them in the Tropiclean Best Smile Contest, sponsored by Tropiclean. Fresh breath made easy. 4 natural products that make it incredibly easy to protect your pet from periodontal disease. You want to check out the rules? TropicleanBestSmile.com. Now, Boog, the studio cat, he says we need to give away some of this Tropiclean right now.
He wants to help some of these animals win this contest.
I understand.
Give them a little edge.
So we're going to give away some of the Clean Teeth Gel, no brushing necessary, plus some of the Fresh Breath Chews, and they maintain the fresh breath and clean teeth. From Tropiclean, call right now, 1-866-405-8405 to pick up on this awesome Tropiclean.
We're going to give away 2, so we got 2 chances.
2 chances?
Yes,
okay.
Keep trying.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, this is Steve Garvey on Animal Radio. Remember to spay and neuter your animals. Thank you.
This is an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by Pets Life Oral Care. Now there's a healthy and natural solution to prevent oral disease in your pet with no brushing required.
I'm Stacy Cohen for Animal Radio. A really contagious outbreak has hit the horse community, equine herpes. It's widened to include 8 Western U.S. states with 33 horses confirmed to have this highly contagious disease. The outbreak comes just as the prime season for riding shows, sales, and rodeos is starting, resulting in the forced cancellation of scores of horses events. All but one of the 33 confirmed cases involve horses that attended a national cutting horse championship competition that was held in Ogden, Utah at the end of April. That is the event that's been identified as the source of the outbreak. 7 of the infected horses have died or were euthanized, according to the USDA. Equine herpes, it's a highly contagious disease. It's spread by horse-to-horse contact or through contaminated equipment, clothing, and hands. Horses can't infect humans, but for the animals, the symptoms of the virus include respiratory problems, hind leg weakness, decreased coordination, nasal discharge, and fever. And what they're trying to do is just quarantine these horses so that none of it will spread any farther than it already has. Officials are estimating that 800,000 pet dogs are living, barking, and pooping in Shanghai, China. If they're living, you know they're going to be pooping. Apparently, that's a problem for government officials responsible for keeping civic order. So in an effort to curb the population and reduce the risk of dog attacks, they've got a new policy. 1 dog per household, and it has been put into effect. Now, wouldn't it be great if you could dine with your dog, so while you're eating surf and turf, your little friend is having it, and they don't have to wait for leftovers? Well, the New York City Pet Show featured some really hot, innovative products for your four-legged friends, and one of them is Stella and Chewy's line of natural raw dinners and treats for dogs. Their dinner for dog flavor includes a brand new surf and turf. Now, of course, it's not packaged with the little lobster tail, but it tastes the same. All meat, poultry, and fish, I know, my dog told me, are sourced from USDA-inspected facilities without added hormones or added antibiotics. No grain, fillers, artificial preservatives, or even any colorings are used. They don't even add sugar or salt. It is good enough to be served probably at a 5-star restaurant. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Scientists at the National Zoo say they've detected a rise in hormone levels in the female giant panda, Mei Xiang. It could indicate she may give birth and a false pregnancy by early July. A Chinese panda breeding expert helped zoo scientists artificially inseminate Mei Xiang in January. She and panda Tian had attempted to mate, but they were not successful, so they had to artificially inseminate. Just like humans, they had to do it a different way. Hopefully it'll work. We'll find out probably in a few months. I'm Stacey Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by Pets Life Oral Care. Our pets can show signs of oral disease by age 3. Pets Life is the healthy and natural solution with no brushing required. Visit petslife.com. That's pets with a Z.com.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Natural Balance Pet Food, the finest food you can buy for the health of your pet. No matter which line of Natural Balance Pet Food you choose, you know it will truly be the food for a lifetime. Visit www.naturalbalance.net to learn more.
One 866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. And Joey Villani has been giving us some great tips today. It's a weird somehow how you've been giving us the tips the same day we have Joey Green on the show, though.
Yeah, with using household products on your pets.
It's a little weird.
Very exciting.
Well, you see, great minds think alike, right, Joey?
Exactly, Joey, and it's nice that we both share the same name.
That's right. So, you see, I knew there was something real good about you.
The book is great, Joey Green's Amazing Pet Cures, and it has simple things around the house that you can use, like Downy fabric softener, Morton salt, things that will help you get along with your pet. I'm going to let Joey tell us what's in the book. Because you wrote it.
I wrote it, and a lot of research, but it contains over 1,138 different pet remedies using everyday brand name products, because the way I feel about it is, why run out to the store and buy something for a lot of money when you may have the solution right in the kitchen pantry?
Right there in the pantry. Give us a sample.
For example, I'll just take Dawn dishwashing liquid, sitting by your kitchen sink right now.
Yes.
Most likely. And I'm picking the products that you're most likely to have in your house.
Sure.
And Dawn dishwashing liquid is great for killing fleas. If you've got a problem with fleas on your dog or your cat, the way to get rid of fleas is simply give them a bath using a small amount of Dawn dishwashing liquid.
Like I said, great minds think alike there, Joey. It works, and it works wonderful. I just want to let everyone know that, because it kills fleas probably better than most flea shampoos will.
And the amazing thing about it is, and I agree with Joey, is that Dawn dishwashing liquid, it kills fleas because fleas, like all insects, have exoskeletons, which means they wear their skeletons on the outside of their bodies. Well, the ingredients in the Dawn dishwashing liquid just penetrate that exoskeleton, and it kills the fleas right away. So if you give your pet a really thorough washing, you should throw shampoo with the Dawn dishwashing liquid, solves your problem. And this way, you don't have to go to the vet and do the chemical dip, and you don't want these toxic chemicals on your pet. And this is a way to avoid that situation.
Well, I want to know how you found out some of these things work. I mean, come on. To eliminate skunk odor with Listerine, what? You don't have any tomato juice or anything, so you grab Listerine? I mean, how do you know these things work?
Well, a lot of research, and what I do is, people write into the companies all the time with their unusual uses for the product, and the companies never advertise this information because, like with tomato juice, they want to sell it for you to drink it, not for you to be, getting rid of skunk odor.
Uh-huh.
And Listerine, they want to be selling it to, improve your breath or fight gingivitis. But Listerine works, if you don't have Campbell's tomato juice, which is excellent for getting rid of skunk smell, Listerine works just as well, if not better. And you just apply it full strength to the affected areas, and you want to avoid the dog's eyes and ears, obviously, and don't want the dog drinking the Listerine. And it's the antiseptic that neutralizes the stench of the skunk oil. And then you just shampoo and rinse the animal, and it's great. And if you want to use the cool mint, you're more than welcome. It gives them a little, better smell than the original medicine-y flavor.
What about leg shear energy pantyhose? This tip right here I actually have used, and I love it. Great tip, by the way.
What is it?
Well, yeah, as you know, if you've got those leg shear, and any of you, ladies listening at home, if you've got a pair of pantyhose, you're spending,
or men.
Yeah, or men. I don't want to get into your personal lives here. You spend like $6, $8, $10 for a pair of pantyhose, and if you wear them 2 or 3 times, they get a run of them, and you throw them out.
Exactly.
Incredible waste of money. Don't throw out your used pantyhose. I've got dozens and dozens, and when it comes to your pets, they are great for making an impromptu muzzle. So, say, for example, you're giving your pet a bath, and they don't really want to be in the bath, and they're going to start nipping at you or biting at you.
Uh-huh.
Take a pair of the pantyhose and cut off one of the legs and use it as a muzzle to just wrap it several times around your pet's mouth, not extremely tight, obviously, just securely, and tie it behind their ears, and it works as a muzzle, and it's great because it expands, it stretches the pantyhose leg, so you're not going to stop them from breathing, and it's just pantyhose.
And for those unused condoms, if you're like me, you probably have plenty of them. If they're non-lubricated, they have a great uses like what, little booties?
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh.
If your pet has a problem with their paws, and they've been to the vet and they a problem with their paws, the vets will tell you, you can take a condom and use it kind of as a booty on the pet's paw to prevent any damage to the paw, while it's healing.
I could see them. My wife found it in my drawer, and I'm telling her, I use them as the booties for the dog. I know, might not go over too good. It's a great tip, though.
In the summer, we get dehydrated, and I like to drink a lot of Gatorade. I can give this to my dog, and it won't harm them?
Absolutely. And what's great about Gatorade is, it's filled with minerals and potassium, and it's just got great stuff for your dog. So if your dog's like outside for a lot of the day and they're getting hot, and we kind of take it for granted, the dogs are panting and they're really thirsty, and if you want to quickly rehydrate the dog, just give them a bowl of Gatorade, any flavor that they like.
Okay, I have 10 copies right now. Joey Green's Amazing Pet Cures.
You're only going to give away 9.
9 copies.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
I'm keeping one. Sorry.
If you're not lucky enough to get through, it's on Rodale Press. Head on over to your bookstore, ask for it, and they can order it if they don't have it, or head on to Amazon, Borders, or Barnes & Noble, and you can get Joey Green's Amazing Pet Cures, a great book with a lot of special cures using salt and Pampers and Listerine and Arm & Hammer and bleach. All these different things have great different uses. Heinz chili sauce. Where is this? A spicy way to stop your cat from scratching the furniture. That's just one of the tips in the book right here. Good stuff. Joey, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
We have more Animal Radio on the way.
Vinnie Penn, your party animal, coming at you again with another party animal segment. I was actually visiting a friend of mine in New York not too long ago, actually shooting a TV series called That's What He Said. And I got together with a buddy of mine I haven't seen for a while, took his big old dog for a walk down to one of those dog runs. Kilgore is the dog's name, by the way. And I'd never been really to a dog run before. And my buddy's doing the whole New York thing of, you can meet girls. The girls I meet down here and this and that. But he kind of, he kept Kilgore, really kind of close to him. Said he doesn't play all that well with other dogs. Sometimes he can, sometimes he doesn't, whatever. But it was all about him. It was all about the girls he could meet down there. And there were some good-looking girls down there at the dog run with their little dogs and their medium-sized dogs, their beagles running around. But I thought, what about Kilgore, man? This is where he should be hooking up. Doesn't he get a chance? I mean, it's a dog run. It's not a nightclub. But my boy couldn't understand that. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I didn't get the dog to pick up girls. I'm just saying that dog run is a great place to meet girls. Yeah, it's also a great place for your dog to meet another dog. I'm not talking about, impregnating another dog and having one of those moderately horrific dog humping another dog scenes in front of everyone situations. But good Lord, it is the dog run that is the nightclub for dogs. Am I wrong? Kilgore really just didn't get to do much other than, run around in a circle a couple of times, catch a Frisbee once or twice, and then every time he even eyed a sweet-looking Rottweiler or Doberman Pinscher on the other side of the grassy knoll that they had there, or whatever, the little stretch of grass they had there, my buddy Rich just said, Kilgore, get over here now. And it's like, let him talk, dude. Let him sniff. Let's see what his opening sniff is. Let's see what his come-on sniff is. Vinny Penn, party animal on Animal Radio.
This is
Animal Radio.
Did you know that 80% of dogs show signs of oral disease by age 3, and the cost to fix these issues can be up to $1,000? Now there's a healthy, natural, and affordable solution, and no brushing is required. Pets Life Oral Care breaks down the plaque and tartar that leads to gum disease and bad breath. To avoid those large vet bills and keep your pet healthy, call 888-453-4682. That's 888-453-4682. Or visit PetsLife.com. That's pets with a Z.com.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about canine caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for canine caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Why read a newspaper in the age of the internet? Because you take the time to think things through, like your love of animals. You want to know where your voice and donations can be most effective. Animal People is the newspaper for people who care enough about animals to give real thought to how best to help animals. Request your free sample copy at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
Do you have an aging pet? How about a scratchy dog or an anxious cat? The Natural Vet, Dr. Sean Messonnier, recommends Pet Pals vitamins. Pet Pals formulas provide safe, affordable nutritional therapy with noticeable benefits. Pet Pals are flavored, chewable tablets that can be given as a treat or crumbled and mixed in with your pet's food. Give your pal the gift of wellness and longevity. Try Pet Pals risk-free today with our satisfaction guarantee. Go to animalradio.com for your 10% off coupon now.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
Hey, John.
Hi there. Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. I have a 5-year-old English bulldog. His name's Bodie. He's my rescue. He's deaf. But he's just all of a sudden done something totally out of the normal. He's licking the air, and he's going around in circles. And I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm scared it's a seizure. I don't know what's going down.
Okay. So when he's going around in circles, is it only to one direction or does it vary?
Yes, only one direction. Only
Okay.
to the right side.
Only to the right. And what else is he? Anything else while he's spinning? Is he licking while he's spinning, or is he just spinning?
He's licking while he's spinning. I mean, and the tongue is coming out farther than that, that he does when he drinks water. I mean, it's out there.
Okay. And how long does this last?
It could go on for a couple minutes.
And then what does he do afterwards?
Barks.
You said barks, not farts, right?
No, barks. He barks. Yeah.
Okay. Because we know bulldogs do a lot of the other two.
Yeah, he's angry that he just had this happen to him, type of thing.
Okay. Now, and when this is happening, does he do anything with his head as far as any head shaking, twitching, any kind of movements?
No, nothing like that. I tried to hold him when he's doing the licking thing so he doesn't start moving around. It's frightening because it's out of nowhere. You know, he's sitting there lying perfectly still on the ground like he normally does, and all of a sudden he rips up, starts licking the air, and he starts going to the right-hand side and like he's trying to get something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to agree that to me this sounds like a form of a focal seizure, so not so much like the grand mal seizure that, you know, epilepsy is so typically associated with. But yeah, the kind of like the licking seizures, we see that quite a bit. Some dogs will even have just like one muscle or one body part will twitch or have a repetitive motion. So that would be my first thought. Now, some of the other things, I do occasionally see dogs that do excessive licking, and they might spin kind of associated with GI disease, so gastrointestinal disease. That is a little bit different, and I kind of do a little bit more of a workup looking into the intestinal problem, things like inflammatory bowel disease and so forth. But usually those pets also have some GI signs, so we have, you know, problems with vomiting, diarrhea, problems absorbing their food, etc. So I'm going to say seizures number 1 on my list, GI disease is number 2. Number 3 at the very bottom, some obsessive compulsive disorders. The only reason I'd say that's at the bottom of my list is because the licking by itself could certainly be obsessive compulsive, but it's kind of the manner in which it occurs that I really look at. And if from what you're describing, it sounds more like it's like a fugue. It's something that's coming over him and then it leaves. So it's not something that's continuing persistent where he licks everything.
So are you telling me to change his diet up again?
Well, that's one possibility if we're talking GI-caused problems. Now, for me, I'd say the number one thing I would talk to your vet about is trying a anti-seizure medicine trial, because many of these type of problems will go away with a short time on some anti-seizure medicine. So there's lots of good ones out there. Phenobarbital, zonisamide is a nice one as well, and that will be actually the test, really, is to see, you know, does this go away with the seizure medicine? If so, you've got a seizure problem, and then you know, we've got a clear answer there of what we need to do.
Excellent. I appreciate your help, man. It's really, because this is really, he's my love of my life. I really appreciate you helping me.
Yeah, that must be scary when that happens and you don't know what's happening.
It's out of the clear blue sky, and I've never seen it before in my life. So, yes, you're absolutely right.
John, we wish you the best of luck with that. Let us know if we need to follow up on that. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone in the Dream Team. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone at the Dream Team. It is toll-free from anywhere in the country. We'll go back to the phones in just a second. This portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by Wall. You know, dogs are one of the most intelligent animals, if not the most intelligent animal. It's no wonder that Wall pet clippers are the number one choice of dogs and their owners. Wall blades provide better grooming results. I'm pretty sure, Joey, you could attest to that. Plus, they'll make you look good and smart for saving money. And your dog will look good,
I've been using Wall clippers and blades professionally for years. I mean, I think they're probably one of the oldest companies out there that have been making professional pet clippers.
Damn straight. Visit their website, wallpet.com, W-A-H-L, pet.com. And, of course, links to everything you've heard on today's show over at Animal Radio. I wanted to get Dr. Marty Becker on the phone. Of course, he's traveling the country for his book tour, but he has something very important to tell us about, I think it's a shelter giveaway, where I think there's going to be money given to shelters to operate, I guess. Doc, are you there?
You bet. You know, first a shout-out to you guys. As I'm traveling around the country, you guys have lots of fans around the country, so I'll hear people come up and say, I listened to you when you were on Animal Radio and the whole Dream Team there. So I'm telling you, guys got lots of friends out here.
It's fun to hear that. It's fun to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, this giveaway is something that, you guys have done the things that are charitable to help shelter pets. Hal, I don't know how many years you and I first met ago, but you were in a cage one time raising money for shelter pets. How many years ago has that been?
Yeah, that was almost a decade ago. I lived in a dog house. Yeah,
that was in the year 2099. Yeah.
So this 11, 12 years ago. So we've shared this common thing to really help shelter pets.
Sure.
And we were lucky enough as part of the big bus tour talking about Healthy Pets Visit Vets, and in the new book we raised $70,000 in donations to help shelters.
Wow.
And it's there's no catch. I mean, they just go to Dr. Marty Becker, and they can find the details about the tour, and it also gives them the 3 quick steps. All they literally have to do is go to my Facebook page, Dr. Marty Becker, and nominate their shelter on the wall.
Okay, so if you have a local shelter that's going above and beyond the call of duty, and needs some money, a little bit of money, you can nominate them. Is that correct? And
That's right. You just nominate the shelter, and the more people you nominate, the better. Because what it is basically at this point, the more votes you get, the more people that nominate that shelter. So if you have, in my hometown, it's Second Chance Animal Adoption, and and you just go and put Second Chance Animal Adoption on the wall, and the more times you do it, later this month we stop, and the top 50 vote getters, then they're all guaranteed to win a prize. Then I think there's 36 $1,000 winners. There's a $20,000 winner, a $5,000 winner, $4,000 winner, and then later in just a month or so here, the winners will be having the product shipped to them.
Okay, so the website is drmartybecker.com. That's D-R, Marty, and it's spelled with a Y. Becker.com, and of course I'll put links to everything you hear on today's show over at animalradio.com. Good work. It's always fun to do fun stuff like this for the animals, isn't it?
Oh gosh, one of the problems I've had in this tour is every time I go into Petco and get in their adoption center, I want to take something home. I miss my pets. I am sleeping good though when I do get to sleep, because the pets aren't hogging me out of the bed like they always do.
Now, are you sleeping in the bus, or are you in?
No, in a hotel room.
Okay, and so the bus is just a party atmosphere for you, right?
Yeah, there's a big king size bed. Well, Gina's back there actually. Gina, my co-author and my longtime business partner, she's back there with her dog Mackenzie. So Mackenzie, I'm telling you, this dog thinks it's a rock star. Everywhere they go, people recognize her, and she's laying on this big king size bed and getting bottled water. I mean, it's like the life of a canine rock star out there.
It's a huge bus. It's and I believe Kid Rock's at once.
Kid Rock, Lady Gaga, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and
wow.
And matter of fact, I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
Dog the Bounty Hunter, he's getting ready to go back. Our driver is getting ready to go back out on tour with him again, and there's a segment on Dog the Bounty Hunter that features our driver, and they call him Cool Breeze. Is a name that they coined that stuck. But on this segment on the show, it's really funny. You can find it online, but he goes in the back of the bus, and Dog's following him, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, my back! Oh, my back! My back!" And Dog goes, "What happened? What happened?" He goes, "I tried to pick up your wife's bra." Oh, it's a classic.
Okay, well, if you see the bus anywhere on tour, and of course you'll be ending here in San Francisco, if you see it, honk. And don't run them off the road or anything. Just wave and say hello to Dr. Marty Becker, traveling the country and doing good work. And his brand new book, of course, that we've been talking about lately. Good stuff. Marty, we'll speak to you again soon. Do you mind?
Thank you, friends.
Do you mind when I call you Marty like that?
No, I
First
love
name?
Marty. You and I have known each other so long, we know where the dogs are buried, and that's a good thing, Al.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. I have animal communicator Joy Turner right here for you right now.
Awesome. Hi, Joy.
Cindy.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. And who are we talking to today?
Wolfie.
Whoopi?
Wolfie. Like a wolf?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wolfie's a dog, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Okay. And what can we talk to him about for you?
I'm sure he's passed on, but he just came up missing one day, and I love him dearly, and I've been having dreams of him lately. He's been gone maybe 3 years now, and I've been having dreams about him lately, and I just loved him so, and still do, and just wonder if he's trying to reach me somehow, or tell me what happened to him.
He says he wants you to know that he has been trying to reach you lately, because he's found out that talking and being together in dreams is the easiest way for him to be able to be with you, and he wants to keep dreaming with you if that's going to be okay with you.
That's wonderful. It makes me feel good when I see him, and I feel like he's there with me again.
He said, well, he actually is, because dreams can be just as much of a reality when it's the kind of dream he's talking about as our physical world is. So he actually does come into a dream state with you. That's why it seems more profound or more real to you. It feels different than your standard dream.
Yeah, because I don't normally remember dreams very much, but I remember the ones of him.
Yeah, and it's because you're actually together in, people might call it a different dimension or a different vibrational rate, having an actual experience together.
Yes. Is Sophie and him together? Because she was in the dream too.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he says he's actually convinced Sophie to come dream every now and then with you, too.
Oh, that makes me so happy. He was so dear to my heart, and just a big, wonderful, and just to know he's still there. I felt he was, but the dreams make me feel even more so.
Good news for you, Cindy.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Joy.
for your
You're
call.
wonderful. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too. 1-866-405-8405. You heard her say you were wonderful, didn't you, Joy?
This is
Animal Radio. Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Well, hello, friend. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with the entire Dream Team. It is toll-free. To speak to Vlade, the world Russian dog wizard. The world Russian dog wizard?
The world
famous
Russian?
dog wizard.
Most famous
he is the most
dog wizard.
And then more from Russia. Yeah, we'll get it right.
The pet travel expert Susan Sims, animal communicator Joy Turner, groomer Joey Villani, and I know. How long have we been doing this? And, of course, Dr. Debbie and Stacy Cohn working on news. Stacy, what are you working on?
Well, California's always a trendsetter. Now they're updating their vocabulary, actually, in some new legislation that would change the term pound to animal shelter and the term destroy to euthanize. Will this really make a difference? We'll talk about it coming up. There is a horrible thing that's affecting the horse community, equine herpes. It's become an epidemic. It's including 8 Western U.S. states right now. I'll tell you all about it coming up on Animal Radio News.
And welcome to the show, Will.
Oh, thank you. How are you?
Very good. I have animal communicator Joy Turner right here.
Hello, Will.
Hi, Joy. How are you?
Marvelous. And who are we talking to today?
Fergus.
Okay, and Fergus is a kitty dog?
He was a 12-year-old black lab.
Okay.
And he passed about 4 years ago. And the night that he passed, he barked one last time, and I didn't really get a chance to react to that.
He comes to me, and it's really funny because he has this big grin on his little doggy face. And he says, so what kind of a reaction do you think you would have had?
Well, I wish I had been there more for him, I believe.
He says he wants you to not worry about that because he knows that you look at it like you didn't do enough or you somehow weren't enough. But he thinks he loved being with you. He thinks he loved his time with you, and he thinks that everybody got to grow in the relationship, and he thinks that's a perfect way to have it. So he's not at all thinking that there's a lack of anything.
Okay. Is there any chance that he could come back?
He says there is. He's not going to do it right now. He's thinking maybe a year or two he might come back, but he's got some work that he wants to do on the other side. He wants to learn some things so that he can create a few different kinds of things in his life.
Okay.
And he wants to know if that's going to be too long for you.
No. I have some visual problems at the moment, and I might have to get a service dog at some point. And I'd like to have a Labrador, of course. And I don't know if that would translate into anything. But
he said, well, he could be that dog for you, but he's not quite sure exactly how that process works. He doesn't know if he can come to you and you can give him to whoever trains him, or if he has to go someplace else and they have to somehow choose him. So he needs you to do a little bit of investigation about that. And find out how that works, because he says he'll change his plans and come sooner if that's the kind of something that you need him to do for you. He'd be pleased to do that.
That's wonderful.
So just figure out if he can come to you and you can give him to somebody to train, or if he needs to be somehow chosen by them from somewhere else.
Okay, and that would be my choice, and then how would that translate into him knowing that?
Well, you would have to call and find out from the people that give those dogs to people how that process works. Then you can either think about him and tell him what you found out, because he will hear you, or you can call into the show again and we can talk to him from there, or you can have a private session with him if you call me directly.
Oh, that's great. Okay. That's very good.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that there.
Thank you so much. Joy, thank you for the time.
You're welcome.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio. Here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And your Dream Team of experts, Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions, groomer Joey Villani, animal communicator Joy Turner, pet travel expert Susan Sims, and Lobby, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, all in place for you. And it's toll-free, and our special guest today, you're going to love this, Joey Green. And he's a real what do you call those people?
Spendthrift?
Spendthrift. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
He's cheap.
He has things around the house that can help you with your pet. And it could be something like Dawn dishwashing liquid.
Just household items, huh?
Yeah, just household items. Got a book.
How fun.
With 1,138 Simple Pet Remedies. And we're going to give it away, and we'll talk to him a little later on this morning. Very excited about that. And what are you working on, Stacy?
Well, California is always a trendsetter. Now they're updating their their vocabulary, actually, in some new legislation that would change the term pound to animal shelter and the term destroy to euthanize. Will this really make a difference? We'll talk about it coming up on Animal Radio.
Shelley, you have a 3-year-old Aussie, and what's going on with it?
He is afraid of storms and high anxiety, separation anxiety.
Shelley, my dear, even without talking to you personally, just like a psychic hotline, something for this phone, I hear your voice and can imagine you, and I can really assess that. If I were your dog, I would have separation anxiety either. You are very sweet. You are very sweet, gentle, non-authoritative type of the person. And dogs kind of confuse that type of the human kindness for weakness. Weakness for the dog, such nervous systems, always associated with insecurity. Insecurity is something when the dogs are born with. Some of them are very insecure. Genetically, it's called genetics. Forget, like in America, you've been told many times that every puppy was created equally. No one was created equally.
Right.
Everyone was created differently.
Correct.
We're not talking in politics and on the radio, but I have to tell you, God had no intentions to create anyone equally. He created us differently with different talents, and some of us has talents, none of the talents, unfortunately. But, Judy, you look at me. I didn't mean you.
Oh, well, thank you. Why did you look at me?
Especially with Sam, I'm finding out that we had a storm that came through last week, and he has a basement, and with other dogs, we have a total of 5, and we worked, and then we came home. He had the door almost all torn, and he even tore his dew claw off, where we had to go and have surgery done on that. So he just panicked for the storms.
And I know the dogs who have jumped through the balconies in the situation like this, or chewed up their crates and basically teeth was bloody all over. I mean, I can't tell you what could happen. Here is what I will do without really getting into this detail of situation. Number one, would like to just let you know, separation anxiety, unlike many behavior problems, it's a very hard to resolve, and because it's also involved human emotions, and it is much more difficult for us to, as professionals, deal with the human emotions than with animal emotions. So my starting point would be, number one, I would establish confidence in the dog, and the only way you can establish confidence in your dog as the result of the solid obedience training, not the cookie bribery type of the obedience training, which is prevalent nowadays everywhere, at every corner. But solid obedience training, where you have a nice collar and leash, and your dog respond to all your commands, and the first commands under any circumstances. You can get the taste of that obedience by visiting Animal Radio website. There is a video, and I shows how to use one of the collar, which I like, on dog Akita dog, and teach the dog walking on the leash pretty quickly. So I would focusing or get some private trainer or get in the school, but I would pick the one I want to work with, because your dog needs to solid obedience training, and that will establish confidence in your dog, because you will become a leader from his perspective, like a doggy mother who sometimes bite, sometimes licks, and he just follow her around and be happy about this. Insecure dogs must have secure leaders. Number 2. I know you have some questions, but I got to address your questions through the process. Number 2, I would decrease insecurity in him by desensitizing him. You cannot stimulate dropping the barometer or air pressure, fortunately, but you can distract the dog. You can calm him down prior to that by using different tricks. One of the things, I would put him on the very calming supplement. You can use supplement by name Pro Quiet, like professional quiet, like Pro Quiet by company Animal Options, or even Flower Essence works wonderfully. Flower Essence in your local pet stores, they all have it. Flower Essence for pets. I would get from internet. It's called Comforting Vest for the Separation Anxiety. They have a lot of variations. You just put on the Google comforting vest, like a vest, like putting something around you, wrap around the dog for separation anxiety. I would have it on him prior to, because you know when will be bad weather, or whatever your dog needs to work around, so you can prevent it. You can put it prior to that happening, prior to event. And what else I would do, definitely, if it's happened in my presence, I will refocusing his attention on me. I will do obedience training in the time when he think he should be scared, and I would, dog, like humans cannot worry about two things at the same time, so he will worry more about me and my obedience rather than of worry about. Just give you example. If he start to shaking and looks anxious, you say, "Oh, you want to work? Okay, where's my collar and leash? Lady," or whatever her name is, "Heidi, let's go. Good girl. Sit, stay, calm down, place. Here is American cheese. Here is a Russian kielbasa. Distance." That's how I would do it. Now, if it's happening in your absence, I would never put the dog. I would, if I know the thunderstorm or something, I would definitely drop him by the daycare or some other things. I would not play in the Russian roulettes. And I also get the CD, which I will constantly play with my dog in the high and low intensity, which will be stimulate thunderstorm. And stop babying him. No welcome home celebrations. No sleeping in the bed with him. No allow him jump on the furniture. Just treat him as the dog a little bit, and he will be just fine. I promised you. Thank you for calling to Animal Radio.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you so much. I will do all those things and get working on that today.
1-866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team right now. And this portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by our friends at Pet Stay, a unique program for guests and their four-legged friends at the Flamingo, Bally's, Harrah's Resorts in Las Vegas. Pet Stay includes the food water dish, the sleeping mat, the dog treats, and specialty room service for your dog. Yes, more details at Caesars.com/PetStay Las Vegas. And they present the Las Vegas Minute. And this week at, which hotel is this? This is at the Paris?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I have never stayed there before.
I love Paris.
Have you stayed there?
Yes, it's great. It's a great hotel.
Okay, well, this week at Paris, Las Vegas, it is the magic of Paris tonight through June 26th. So they have a little bit of run. A couple of weeks here. You can check them out. Sleight of hand artist Stephen Vanell, and I wouldn't know Stephen Vanell from Joey Villani. Well, I would know the difference
you would.
Between those two, probably. Yeah. But anyone else, I probably wouldn't. But I do love magic.
You believe in magic?
I do believe in magic, and especially if I can bring my dog with me. Now, I can't bring my dog to the show, but I can bring my dog to Caesars Palace or to Paris, to Planet Hollywood, Harrah's, Flamingo, Bally's, Rio, and Imperial Palace Resorts in Las Vegas, and they roll out the red carpet now. Thanks, guys.
Concierge Desk, this is Amanda. Yes, I can recommend a great place for a walk.
Flamingo, Bally's, and Harrah's Las Vegas are rolling out 4-star treatment for our four-legged friends. Our new Pet Stay program includes in-room accommodations for up to 2 dogs, food and water dishes, sleeping mat, dog treats, specialty room service menus, and more. The dog days are here. Book your stay at Caesars.com/PetStay Las Vegas or call 800-427-7247.
Hi, I'm Steve Garvey, and I'm here with my good friend, actor, and pet food guru, Dick Van Patten.
Hiya, Steve. It's good to see you.
Dick, my 2 dogs have been on your natural balance for years. They love it. They look great. So what's the secret?
It's simple. Our formulas are developed by top nutritionists and based on scientific fact. And then they're made with the best ingredients.
It's just a winning combination.
It is. Just like Russell to Lopes to Garvey.
Thanks for that. Hey, everyone. If you love your pets like I love mine, try Natural Balance.
Warm weather is here, and your dog is ready to trade in its winter coat for a summer haircut. Wall Pet Clippers are the #1 home grooming choice for dogs and their owners because Wall's precision ground blades cut hair without pulling or snagging. Grooming your dog at home is safe, easy, and it helps you save money. So show how much you care. Cut your dog's hair with a Wall Clipper. Visit Wall, WAHLpet.com.
Kempton Hotels and Restaurants, the very first full-service hotel to respect and welcome pets. Kempton's hospitality program offers plush beds, designer dining bowls, pet treats, toys, along with services for dog walking and pet sitting. No restrictions for size, weight, or type of animal, as well as 0 fees or pet deposits. Come stay at a Kempton hotel whenever you travel. L.A., San Francisco, San Diego, Chicago, Dallas, and many more. Go to www.kemptonhotels.com for Kempton Hospitality.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
One 866-405-8405 to connect with any one of the Dream Team. Can you see Nike Duty over there in the corner?
Oh my gosh, she's like laying belly up.
Belly up.
Look at that little kid.
Just love it when they do that.
He's very comfortable.
Everybody's being very quiet. Joey sneaking around the studio.
Well, we're afraid to wake the animals there. You got a cat on the board, a Nike in the bed. We got Ladybug over here asleep in the chair. The animals just come in here to sleep during our show.
Hey, Rick, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Very good. I have Dr. Debbie right here to help you.
Well, hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What kind of critter do you have?
She's a black lab. She'll be 5 in July. And
awesome. All right. I'm a black lab lover myself.
Oh, good. We've got a little problem with her being overweight.
Okay.
She's about 90 pounds.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's been riding with me in the truck over the road since she was 6 weeks old. And I try to exercise her every day, throwing the tennis ball like 5 or 6 times a day. We do that. And
okay.
I mean, she runs and runs and runs, and she just keeps on putting the weight on.
Okay. All righty. Well, I mean, so at the other times of the day, then she's riding with you and just kind of sedentary, kind of chilling?
Right.
Okay. Well, and that I'm sure is, I mean, I don't know, maybe I need some more info from my trucker friends here as far as, I mean, that's probably a huge problem you have for sitting, in your cab all that time, and the pet's just like you,
Right.
So the big thing I would have to say is being a Labrador, now I always talk body condition, so numbers to me don't always ring as true. But if she's a 90-pound and you can say as her father, you could say, yeah, she's heavy, then I trust that. Because the body condition is by far more meaningful than any number on the scale. So if you put your hands on her chest and you feel like some fatty resistance before you can actually feel ribs, then we're talking that, we're carrying extra weight there. And if we don't have a nice little inward turning hip when you look at the top view of your dog or the side view, then we're probably in the overweight category there. So the big challenges for you would be, limiting your calories and then increasing your exercise. So I like the idea that you have tried doing retrieving and playing ball, because that is a great way to help expend energy. So we want to remember that same kind of formulas for us, about 30 minutes to 60 minutes of continual exercise. So ball playing may not be able to fill up that whole time, but leash walking and other types of physical activity, swimming would be wonderful. Those kind of things.
Swim.
Yeah, and you know what? That's such it exhausts them. It really burns up the calories very wonderfully. So swimming and retrieving for me would be some of the big ways to kind of help burn down her energy level, kind of tire her out, and then maybe also supplement that with a little bit of walking, leash walking along the way. But calorie-wise, we really got to watch what you're putting in the doggy's gullet. So if we need to get on a serious weight loss program, then I like to go into some of the therapeutic weight loss diets.
Well, I've switched her over to a healthy weight Purina, the more expensive stuff. And I only give her 1 cup in the morning and 1 cup about 4 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon.
Okay. Now, I'm going to caution you, because with some of the, there's some great foods out there on the market that are marketed as a weight loss diet. The problem that I have is that for real true weight loss, we really ought to have your veterinarian involved in kind of supervising that. The problem becomes when we take weight loss foods that are sold on the general market and we restrict the volume for our pets. We can actually cause problems. By decreasing the amount you feed, you can limit not only the calories she's taken in, but also the nutrients. So we don't want her to be nutrient deficient, and we also don't want her to end up feeling hungry and unsatisfied. So I would certainly check with some of the different local vets in your areas what kind of prescription weight loss foods they have. There's different ones by Purina, Science Diet, Royal Canin, IAMS. There's oodles out there, but really to get on one that is made for weight loss. And the idea is those foods have higher fiber. They may be supplemented with carnitine to help burn fat. And those are going to be my best recommendations for diet. And we really look for maybe only 1 to 2% body weight loss per week. So we're going for gradual. We don't want to make her hungry and make her frustrated in any way. The other thing you might look into, and for any retriever especially, I'm always suspect with this if we're talking weight issues, is to have her thyroid level screened. It is a common cause of weight gain in many breeds, but also especially in these Labradors, where we can just kind of not maybe eat a lot, but just kind of pack those pounds on over time. And I would certainly personally wish for a thyroid problem to lose weight if we could all take a magical pill. But, if that is a problem, I would hate for you to miss that and not have that evaluated.
I had her spayed. Her seemed like she put on a lot of weight on right after that. Is that common?
Well, what we have to remember is basically when we're spaying a dog, we're changing their metabolism. So it can lead to weight gain if we don't change our feeding habits. So I definitely recommend pretty much the day a pet is leaving my office getting spayed, we have that talk about metabolism. And any lady that's gone through menopause or ended up with a hysterectomy will attest that it is hard to keep the weight off afterwards. And we can run into that with our dog. So don't continue to feed her like you did when she was a young juvenile. We really just have to limit the calories and make sure that we keep her activity level up and, keep that in mind. So it's not a reason not to spay, just to know that it can happen, and we just need to kind of get ahead of things before, they pack that weight on. And, one other thing you might try, even things to keep her occupied and busy and keep her mentally stimulated in the cab of the truck would be some of the different interactive toys. And you might throw some of her food into those different little toys. If she's into the Kong toys, there's Busy Buddy is another brand, and you can hide the food items in there, and she kind of has to work to get them to fall out of the different toys, and it kind of keeps them occupied, mentally stimulated, and really we make it so easy putting that food in front of our pets that this is a great way to make her kind of work for it, if you will.
Okay. Another question I have. She expects a treat every time that she goes to the bathroom. That's my fault because
every time she goes to the bathroom?
Yeah.
You said every time she goes to the bathroom, right?
Every time that I get out of the truck and I come back in.
Okay.
I give her a biscuit. Now, I used to give her the medium-sized biscuits. I cut her down to the puppy ones.
Okay. All right,
Rick,
now...
in the puppy biscuits, and is there something in the puppy biscuits that she shouldn't be getting?
Okay, well, here we go to the nitty-gritty. Now the truth comes out, Rick. Now I know what the problem is. Definitely. She's being overtreated. Definitely. So I guess that's the first and foremost thing. You're doing exactly what my mother did. Every time the doggy went outside, even if it wasn't, he didn't do anything, he would fake it to get a cookie. We called them cookie runs in our house because my dog was so smart. He'd run out, come back in, get a cookie, and I'm like, Mom, he didn't do anything. And she'd be like, he tried. Definitely, I would say I would want to go to a high fiber biscuit. So puppy, if you're talking small, that's great. But if you're talking made for puppies, those are probably higher calories, and we don't need to go there. We can try substituting other things. So you can try those little fresh baby carrots. That's a great little treat. You can look at her daily food amount, though, what you're feeding her, and take one kibble out. And remember that you can't add more in for the day. Measure out her feeding amount. And if you're giving her a piece of goodie every time she goes outside, she may not have anything left over to eat at the end of the day. So you may want to rethink your reward system for...
how about just like a good girl, or something like that?
Yeah, you sound like Vlade doing that.
She'll look at me and look at the treat box. And look at me and look at the treat box.
Well, this is where, Rick, it takes tough love, and I can tell you, I got those big brown eyes from my Labradors, too. I treat them maybe 1 out of 100 times when they do something on a command. And that's all it takes. They don't need it every time. It's that one time out of that 100 or so that they remember. They still do the good things. They still listen to me, and they're not any worse for the wear. So it really, you have to change in your heart, and you can do it. You can be that tough dad, and remember that every calorie you put in extra is really going to affect her and cause problems down the road. So gotta look inside yourself, change there.
Yeah, well, I've wanted her to be around for a while, so I'd be lost without this dog. So and that's why I know I got to do something. I don't want her to get. I had one dog that got diabetic on me, and that's because she ate every table scrap we ever had.
Yeah. Well, you nipped this in the bud. You got some great tips there, some great ideas. Unfortunately, we are out of time, Rick. But thanks for your call. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team right now.
Animal Radio is brought to you by Wall. Do you know that dogs are one of the most intelligent animals? So it's no wonder that Wall pet clippers are the #1 choice of dogs and their owners. Wall blades provide better grooming results, and you'll look smart for saving money. Visit Wall, that's WAHL, pet.com.
Animal Radio is brought to you by SeniorPetProducts.com. As your best friend settles into middle age and shows signs of slowing down, SeniorPetProducts.com is there to help your senior pets live to the fullest with thousands of products for the life of your pet. SeniorPetProducts.com.
Vinnie Penn, your party animal, coming at you, the party animal segment. I want to talk to you about a little something called dog sitting. A girlfriend of mine is in town this summer. She gave me a new number to call her at. I said, you're not staying with your folks? And she said, well, no, I'm dog sitting for the summer. I'm like, what do you mean dog sitting? Well, my friends went away. I'm staying in there. Well, you're house sitting then, I said to her. You're house sitting. And she's like, well, no, actually, I'm here for the dog. The dog is the priority. I'm like, so if the house is burning down, you run in, you save the dog, you don't run back in for anything else? The house is, the dog is the number 1 priority? Are you going back in maybe for, some documents, some trophies, house sitting, the people who live there, one of the guys is a doctor. Are you going in for any of his degrees on the walls or is it just the dog? She's like, Vinny, stop ranting and raving. Stop being the party animal. I'm sitting for the dog. And I said, well, why don't you just bring the dog to your house? Unacceptable by the owners. Dog needs to stay in its environment. And I'm like, well, what if that environment burns down, as we just discussed? She's like, listen, I take the dog sitting very seriously. I said, are you being paid for the dog sitting? She's like, no, Vinny, they're friends. And herein came the best part. And I said, so all day long, you're just going to sit around and take care of this dog, take this dog for a while? She's like, well, I love the dog. And I'm like, well, of course, I get that. We're all dog lovers. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to swim in the pool. And that's when I really decided, folks, and for my girlfriend, Doreen, who's listening, you're not dog sitting. And no, you're not house sitting, but you are, my dear, pool sitting.
This is an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by Pets Life Oral Care. Now there's a healthy and natural solution to prevent oral disease in your pet with no brushing required.
I'm Stacy Cohen for Animal Radio. California is updating their vocab. This new legislation would change the term pound to animal shelter and the term destroy to euthanize. In 20 different places throughout California state law, the word pound is used to describe animal shelters and their operations. This is kind of like, last week when we were talking about the word pet and that it was insulting to your animal to call him a pet. Like, it really knows the difference. I mean, I don't even see where pet is an insulting name. I like it when somebody calls me their pet. I feel good about that. They didn't call me anything. I'm happy. Pound was a common term decades ago when most of the laws were written and reflects an outdated emphasis on animal control as contrasted with today's balance between animal control and animal care. Across the state, California animal shelters provide essential life-saving services. Yes, they do. And the word pound does not accurately encompass the extent of their work. California laws referring to euthanasia in cases of dire animal suffering as destroying an animal also are outdated. So they've created this law, AB 1279, and they say it would remedy this to reinforce the state's commitment to the humane handling and treatment of animals in distress. Well, you know how they have games to teach babies to read and you listen to Mozart and it'll make them smarter? Well, the New York City Pet Show had an awesome interactive game. It's suitable for all breeds and sizes of dogs. The Nina Ottison interactive games are designed to keep your dog mentally active while reinforcing a special canine-human bond, so you can kind of learn with your dog and grow together. Some games are even feline-friendly. Solving these brain games requires mental as well as physical dexterity, so you can work through the challenges and reveal hidden food rewards. The Nina Ottison Dog Tornado was awarded a Lifestyle Innovation Award at Pet Fashion Week in New York in 2010, and the Company of Animals is founded by a highly acclaimed UK pet behaviorist, Dr. Roger Mugford. He's the UK's leading specialist in dog behavior and training products. So your dog can have fun and learn at the same time because you know what? Not every dog can be as smart as a border collie, but we certainly can attempt it. Well, there's no time for horsing around when you want to ride the train. The Daily Post says a man in the UK tried to bring his pony with him when he went to board a train. When he wasn't able to purchase the animal a ticket, the man reportedly snuck the pony onto the platform and then attempted to put him on the train. He was eventually stopped by a conductor, and after a brief argument, the man and his pony left. One witness says that everybody was surprised by the guy's behavior, adding that the entire incident appeared to be a prank. A spokesperson for the train company says that while they allow small animals on board, a pony would pose a risk to the general public. Well, my gosh, why didn't they just get him 2 tickets? You know, like when a fat person goes on an airplane, you buy 2 tickets so they get 2 seats. I don't know. I'm Stacy Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by Pets Life Oral Care. Our pets can show signs of oral disease by age 3. Pets Life is the healthy and natural solution with no brushing required. Visit petslife.com. That's pets with a Z.com.
New from Bayer Animal Health. Advantage 2 quickly kills fleas within 12 hours. Canine Advantage 2 for dogs only repels and kills ticks, fleas, mosquitoes, repels biting flies, and kills lice. Both products are waterproof and kill all flea life stages. Advantage 2 and Canine Advantage 2 are registered trademarks of Bayer.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
One 866-405-8405. That's the number to connect toll-free with any one of the Dream Team. It could be Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, pet travel expert Susan Sims, animal communicator Joy Turner, groomer Joey Villani, or Dr. Debbie. We're all here toll-free for you. Hot day. It's summer.
Oh, isn't it nice? I've been waiting all winter.
Beautiful. Hey, Vlad, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I see Judy is just fabulous looking. I love the way she smells. You know I'm I want to mark you.
I think it's lilac. Is it lilac?
No, it's my coconut suntan oil.
Coconut suntan
I've got these bronze legs, and I've got the coconut oil. It smells good.
See, I've got legs for radio.
Coconut oil is such great for pets and their owners.
What else is it good for?
You know, it's a European way of beauty. If you put the coconut oil on your skin, first of all, it's, you will be have a wonderful skin and will kill all acne, all infections. And the same thing if you put on your pet's skin, it also will heal ruins very quickly. We use it in Europe a lot, this coconut oil. But I have to tell you this, boys put it on the private parts before they're having the sex, before all that antibiotic was created. Boy, that worked really well to keep us from infections, especially a guy like me who kissed the woman after go check for the AIDS.
Oh, okay, too much information, guys.
Okay. Hey, if you want to connect toll-free with Vlad, if you have a dog problem that just doesn't seem to go away, no one else can help you, he can help you with it. And it's toll-free right now. And it's brought to you by Stella and Chewy's. We love these guys. It's the only food that Ladybug eats religiously.
Still, it's been years.
Yes.
And I believe that's why she's so slim, because, we live in California. In California, it's a crime to be the fat.
She's definitely not overweight. She looks good.
No, she's not. And here's why. Because Stella and Chewy's, it is almost like a raw diet, but very in the safe way. Whatever they do, typical raw diet or freeze-dried raw diet, they guarantee no bacterial contaminations. And what is very important, it's a complete food. What I mean by that, I had in my boot camp one time, nice dog, and I saw kind of skin is not good and things like that, and the people were fan of the raw diet. And when I saw what they are feeding, they're just getting the meat from the supermarket and giving to the dog. That's the very bad decisions to make. So we switched that puppy on the Stella and Chewy's, and I saw myself like a fur changed, like the eyes become much brighter, and behavior improved. The dog became very calm because the dog got that raw nutrition he was looking for.
I'd like to send out a sample to anyone who is listening right now of the food that Vlade is talking about. Stella and Chewy's. Natural goodness for dogs made with raw USDA-inspected meat. It's raised naturally. There's no added hormones or antibiotics. Their website is stellaandchewy's.com. But if you head on over to animalradio.com and get my address off the front of the website where it says Stella and Chewy's, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll send you back a sample. And you can try it on your dog. Stella and Chewy's. Thanks, guys, for sponsoring Animal Radio. 1-866-405-8405 to connect with anyone of the Dream Team. Could be Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Our pet travel expert, Susan Sims. Animal communicator, Joy Turner. Groomer, Joey Villani. Or Dr. Debbie, which it happens to be in this case. And we have Steve on the phone. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Hal. How you doing, buddy?
Steve, the over-opinionated truck driver. How you doing? What's going on?
I'm keeping my opinions to myself now.
You're more popular at a party that way, for sure.
Yeah. Hello, Dr. Debbie, the ever-bubbly veterinarian. I have a question for you.
Okay.
I am looking at possibly adopting another fur kid, and she is a rescue dog. Not sure on her age, but she has scoliosis, the permanent curvature of her back. She's a little French bulldog.
Okay.
Gets around really good, and I was just kind of curious, what would I have to look forward to in the future as to where, for being a truck driver, being able to have her in the truck with me, is it a possibility that something could go really bad wrong and she'd lose her use of her back legs?
Well, there's some concern. And when we talk about bulldogs and Frenchies, English bulldogs, they're prone to a type of vertebra deformity, usually born with it. And it can cause scoliosis or what we call kyphosis, which is a kind of instead of side-to-side deformity, up and down deformity. But basically, if that's present in the neck or the upper back area, we're not likely to have any major problems. When it occurs in the lower back, that might pose more of a risk down the road. And the concern would be is that, those misshapen vertebrae can put pressure on the spinal cord, and we can basically run into signs of intervertebral disc problems, pain, wobbliness in the back legs, weakness, and definitely, varying degrees of pain. So that would be my number one question, maybe as you're looking at adopting this baby, is what areas has an x-ray been done? If not, I would definitely shoot one, because if you see the visible deformity, that says, yeah, there's a problem there, but there could be other locations that might need to be picked up by x-ray.
In the pictures and the little video they got of her, you can see where it's really bad, because actually she kind of will be standing there and one paw won't be touching the ground on the back and the other one will be almost all the way over to her right-hand side standing
Wow.
there.
So she already has a pretty good disability then with that.
Yeah, but she just gets around really good from what I can tell. Actually, you can ask Judy, and she saw the little video on her.
Yeah, she hops around like a little frog, but you can tell it's back, and her back end is really curved around to going towards her front end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really for me, just having the scoliosis is not necessarily a problem by itself, but it really is the degree of impingement we might have on the spine and her comfort level. So if I had her here in front of me, what I would do is do a good neurologic exam, kind of test her nerve function to her feet and feel along her spine. If we picked up any pain along anywhere, then those might be some signs that, we could anticipate some serious problems. But definitely I'd say an x-ray of that lower back would make me feel better to, kind of give you more odds as far as how big of a problem she could have, with some pain down the road. So I didn't answer that question for you, did I?
Yeah, but I just wanted to call and find out, because you got all sorts of answers, and you always have really good answers, Dr. Debbie.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And hopefully you can, hopefully this little baby is going to find her way into your life. And, special needs dogs are, they're a tough adoption. So I would certainly commend you and, the special needs that she might have. Shower her with lots of love, and, hopefully we'll have a good, happy lifespan there. So thank you so much for your call, Steve. This is Dr. Debbie. We are all sitting here waiting for your call. Dog lovers, cat lovers, all alike. Give us a call, 1-866-405-8405.
This is
Animal Radio.
Did you know that 80% of dogs show signs of oral disease by age 3, and the cost to fix these issues can be up to $1,000? Now there's a healthy, natural, and affordable solution, and no brushing is required. Pets Life Oral Care breaks down the plaque and tartar that leads to gum disease and bad breath. To avoid those large vet bills and keep your pet healthy, call 888-453-4682. That's 888-453-4682. Or visit PetsLife.com. That's pets with a Z.com.
If you're a regular listener to Animal Radio, you know that we feed Ladybug, our stunt dog, Stella, and Chewies. Have you ever bought dog food that your dog eats once and then turns their nose up to it? I have. That's why I choose Stella and Chewies. My pup still eats it as fast as I put it down. She doesn't even know it's good for her, but I know it's natural goodness for dogs, made with raw, USDA inspected meat raised naturally with no added hormones or antibiotics. To get the official food of Ladybug, visit StellaandChewies.com.
We need to thank the fine folks at Kimpton Hotels as they bring you this portion of Animal Radio. If you're traveling to Miami, take your pet. You can stay at the Epic Hotel. Just one of over 50 hotels that are 100% pet-friendly with zero fees and no size or weight limits. Find out more about Kimpton's hospitality program by calling 1-888-KIMPTON. Thanks, guys.
Are you struggling with sky-high credit card debt? Call Credit Card Relief. You can get out of debt in months instead of years with no fees until the debt is settled, and with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Call Credit Card Relief. The consultation is free, and the relief is real.
Call 866-800-5252. Not available in all states. That's Credit Card Relief. 866-800-5252. 866-800-5252.
This is
Animal Radio.
How could I keep my dog, smelling clean and looking good?
I don't know. How can you keep your dog smelling and clean between groomings?
I'm going to tell you that, Hal. It's very easy.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to get a few products that are probably somewhere in your household. Number 1 is baking soda. Number 2 is a spray bottle of water. Number 3 is some witch hazel. And number 4 will be Vaseline. And then, you know what, if you got some lavender oil, essential oil, well, you know what, we can use that as well. But this is how it's going to start. What you're going to do is you're going to mist your dog down with a little bit of H2O, a little water. Mm-hmm. And you're going to brush through it. Now, what that's going to do, it's going to break down the dirt and oil a little bit, and now we need something to remove it. Now, I always say use cornstarch, but I'm finding that baking soda actually works better.
Really?
And
Wow.
What you do is, you sprinkle that on the dog, and what that's going to do, that's going to absorb everything left behind. But we found out that the baking soda, because it has such good deodorizing properties, will remove any bad smells. Maybe your dog rolled in something. Maybe he just is a stinky dog. Some of those dogs just have a doggy, body odor to begin with.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is sprinkle that on and then brush it through. Now, the key is don't make it too wet that you're making paste here.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you just want to dampen it with the water, and then you want to just sprinkle the baking soda on so that absorbs and floats everything away. If you do make paste, well, you're going to have to wait for it to dry and then brush it through. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to take a little bit longer and could be messy. When you do this, definitely put a towel under the dog so it doesn't make a mess. While you have the baking soda, if you have a piece of gauze, wet the gauze, dip it in the baking soda, and with your finger, as long as your dog lets you, you can go in their mouth and you can run it against their teeth, and that's going to help freshen their breath a little bit. And it's also going to do a moderately decent job, cleaning their teeth a little bit as well. So you actually, if you do that often enough, it'll keep their teeth under control and keep them feeling better and smelling better. Their breath. And last and least, if you take a little bit of Vaseline and rub it into their pads. Now, especially we got the summer coming, they're going to be walking on a hot pavement. So if you're wearing some nice clothes and your dogs jump up and those pads that are real rough, actually will make marks on your clothes. Well, this will soften them. It'll make their feet feel a little bit better. They'll feel better. You'll feel better. Everyone's feeling better here right now.
I'm feeling better already.
I mentioned lavender oil in the beginning.
Yes, you did.
If you have any,
yes,
put about 5 drops in a small spray bottle of water that you're using to mist the dog down with. Now, what that's going to do is just give it a little extra scent. It's because it's essential oil, it's not going to hurt the dog. Spray them down, and that's also going to, add some more fragrance to the coat. When you're done, you're going to have a nice spit shine their pet.
Another great
tip. And this
tip.
works good on cats as well.
Oh, really? Wow. What about your iguana? Not so much the iguana, though.
No, they don't have the hair.
I never use it on. Oh, you know what? I forgot something, Hal.
Yes.
You threw me off here.
Yes.
Witch hazel.
Yes.
Oh.
The witch hazel you can wipe out the dog's ears with, and that'll also, clean out the wax. And if you do that on a regular basis, you'll have less ear infections. And that's everything from under your sink.
There you go. Another great tip from Joey Villani. We'll post it up at the website. Brought to you by Senior Pet Products. Get 25% off your entire purchase by putting Save 25 in the promo box on the front page. They already have the lowest prices on Chondroflex and Synovaflex. You're going to get an extra 25% off. Find them on Facebook, seniorpetproducts.com. They bring Joey Villani to Animal Radio. Time for another Dodge Journey Pet Destination. And if you call in today and are the destination, we'll hook you up with some good prizes for your dog or cat or iguana or whatever you take out to your Dodge Journey Pet Destination. And of course, I don't need to remind you that Dodge Journey has won the 2010 Pet Safe Choice Awards with fold-down stain-resistant seats, chill zone glove box cooler for drinks, and multiple storage options with removable liners. It's easy to see why the Dodge Journey is the best car for every member of the family, even those with tails. And we're going to line 4. We have Donna. Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm good.
Where's your Dodge Journey Pet Destination? Where do you like to take your dog? And I'm assuming it's a dog.
It is. She's a wonderful little lady of mine. I take her to Broad Ripple Dog Park. Broad Ripple is a really wonderful
What's it called?
Did you say broad? How do you spell that? Broad?
BROAD.
Broad Ripple.
Broad Ripple.
Okay.
And where is that located?
It's in the northern part of Indianapolis. It used to be a little, when it was in the country, but it's along the Monon Trail, which is a bicycle hiking trail. You can walk to Broad Ripple, which is real European little village. There's restaurants you can sit outside with your dog. There's
Wow.
So after you take the dog to the dog park and run off all the energy, you just walk or drive down into the village. They have a little canal. You can sit on the bridge. There's restaurants. There's shops. And it is along the Monon Trail, which goes all the way from northern Indianapolis to town.
Well, I got to say, I've never been to Indianapolis, but if I ever am, that's where I'm going to take my dog. Broad Ripple, is it Broad Ripple Dog Park?
Broad Ripple Dog Park, and it's on Broad Ripple Avenue.
And we'll post it at the website at animalradio.com for anyone that wants to check up on that. In fact, if you want to find a great place where you live, check out the website for the Dodge Journey Pet Destinations. Donna, hold on for a second. We have good dog prizes.
Valuable prizes.
Valuable prizes for you.
Very valuable prizes.
Here's a fact. 17,000 years ago, the first dog was domesticated from a pack of wolves. Here's another fact. The Dodge Journey is a domesticated crossover, a direct descendant of our muscle cars. The Journey recently won the 2010 Pet Safe Choice Award, an honor decided by humans and dogs. Was it the stain-resistant seating, the in-floor storage bins with removable and washable liners, or is it that dogs relate to this vehicle?
1-866-405-8405 to connect with the Dream Team. I believe we have Michael on the other end. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Very good. How are you doing? Where are you today?
Well, in Houston visiting, but we are from Temple.
Temple,
Texas.
Okay. And what's going on with your animals? I've got the good doctor, Dr. Debbie here.
Yeah,
Hi
Dr.
there.
Debbie. Dr. Debbie, our cat, about 1 year old, very healthy male, neutered, but wasn't responding to our calls. And my wife found him underneath some shrubs, and apparently he broke his leg while he got hooked up in a privacy fence. And then we took him to the vet, and he showed me the X-ray, and the break is way down there by the joint.
Okay.
And it's a real clean break, and he says those are very hard to put back together. And he's actually at the vet's with a splint over the weekend, and then we're going to talk about the prognosis Monday or Tuesday, but I wanted to get your opinion on breaks of that nature.
Okay, and I didn't catch what actual limb or which bone. Do you know where the fracture
That
is?
would be the back right, and it's, well, I didn't know that the whole leg is basically a foot. Half the leg's a foot. I thought the foot was just the toes.
Yeah.
So it's actually right there at the ankle. It'd be
Down
right
by the
above,
ankle area.
Right above the ankle. It is snapped clean in two.
Okay. Well, and definitely when we have fractures, there's different classes of fractures and the different kind of shapes, if you will. And hopefully this is a fracture where the bone hasn't penetrated the skin, which is what we call a compound fracture. So if it's all kind of underneath the skin, it really depends on how big the pieces are at any given end on what kind of therapies we can do. If we're lucky in a young animal, we can get away with something just like passing a pin straight down the shaft of the bone. It doesn't always give us good support, and sometimes we'll have to use some bandaging techniques or even some other wires to kind of help get us stabilized there. I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because without seeing a fracture, sometimes you can look at a fracture and say, oh my God, there's nothing there left to work with. And if that's the case, then we're in a kind of either specialty situation, and in really extreme cases, there's amputation. So I don't know where your cat is falling in the kind of the picturesque scene of things. But if it's a young cat and it's a closed fracture and the joint itself is not disrupted, in some cases, just doing a splinting technique may buy us some quality healing time. But the location of the joint really complicates things because once you have that area affected by the break, the response is really not very good there. So I don't know what the possibility of specialists in your area are, but they can do some things with plates that, you'd be really surprised and amazed, if that's an appropriate technique.
Yeah, that's what the vet said. He mentioned amputation, and then he mentioned he wasn't really sure if the pinning would work or not, and if not, then he could fuse the joint together, whatever that means. So
Okay. From what you're describing, that would make me concerned that it may be extending into the joint. And, if it's possible to fuse the joint, that can help relieve the pain long term. It'll be a joint that's fixed and not flexible, but if it helps to relieve discomfort long term, that may be a viable alternative to, just going ahead with an amputation. So I hope you've got some options there kind of in that middle zone, in the gray zone. And, it's always worth, getting a second opinion. If you do have specialists in your area, I'm sure your veterinarian is familiar with that and can kind of consult with them even about what the possibilities are.
Well, he mentioned putting a splint on even after surgery and keeping that on for like 6 weeks in a small room, confined. And he said all he's going to want to do is try to take that splint off. And if he takes it off, he starts walking around, and it's the end or whatever.
Yep. And that might be a hopeful thing to try. And because we're dealing with a kitty, you might have some success there. Dogs, sometimes we have a little bit more activity level and their body weight's heavier, so we don't always have as good luck with some of these more complicated ones. But I'd say, if that's something he says is an option, I'd always try to save the leg if we can. So
okay,
see if that might work for you.
Michael, we wish you the best of luck with that there. We got to get out of here. Remember, you can email us all week long at yourvoice@animalradio.com or call us. We have a voicemail attached to 1-866-405-8405.
Bye.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.